The fifth edition of the Türkiye Africa Business and Economic Forum takes place in Istanbul. This forum is organized by the Ministry of Trade in Turkey in collaboration with the African Union. In total, there are more than 4,000 attendees, heads of states, over 45 African ministers, and 1,500 CEOs. The aim of this forum is to bring together people from different sectors to discuss the relationship, the further growing relationship in the economic sector between Africa and Turkey. During this forum, there will be panels focused on women leadership, entrepreneurship, food security, and food development. There will be 6 panels in total, presentations, B2B meetings, and a fair. The forum serves as a tool for interaction between African countries and Turkey, providing the highest level political dialogue as well as stronger connections and networks between business areas.
Dünyada en fazla kadın girişimciye sahip Afrika'da kadın liderlerin kıtayı dönüştürücü rolü artıyor. Ülkeler arasındaki ticaretin %70'i kadınlar tarafından yürütülüyor ve bu kadınların %58'i kendi işlerine sahip. Afrika Birliği'nin Afrika'yı geleceğin küresel güç merkezine taşıma yol haritası olan Gündem 2063 vizyonunda kadınların hem iş dünyasında hem de toplumun diğer alanlarında lider seviyesinde yer almasını öncelemesi de çok önemli. Ülkemizde de kadın girişimciliği mesafe kat ederken kadın kooperatifçiliği ve eğitim başta olmak üzere birbirimize daha fazla deneyim paylaşımı yapabileceğimize inanıyorum. Tabii bu arada finansmana erişim önemli bir başlık. Dijital girişimcilik Afrika'da yükseliyor, teknik altyapı ve eğitim ihtiyaçlarını da unutmamalıyız. Afrika ve Türk kadın girişimcilerinin ortaklıklarının bu konularda önemli rol oynayacağına inanıyorum. Romanlarında kadınları ve duygularını ele alan Afrikalı kadın yazarlardan Mariam Ba güzel bir tanım yapıyor. Yazar, Uzun Bir Mektup adlı kitabında ister zihinsel, ister bedensel olsun, her meslek saygıyı hak eder diyor. Ve diyoruz ki ister masada, ister sahada, ister beyaz yaka, ister mavi yaka, her ne şekilde ne iş yapılıyorsa olsun, Türk ve Afrikalı iş kadınlarının oluşturduğu iş yapma kültürüyle hedeflerimize ulaşacağımıza inanıyorum.
Türkiye ile Afrika arasındaki işbirliğinin geliştirilmesi açısından çok büyük önem verdiğimiz ve her daim saygıdeğer Cumhurbaşkanımızın güçlü desteğini aldığımız ve zaten hamilini yaptığı Türkiye-Afrika İş ve Ekonomi Forumumuzun 5.sine hoş geldiniz, sefalar getirdiniz. Bu TABEF Forumu'nun kadın liderliği ve girişimcilik özel oturumunda sizlere hitap etmekten büyük bir onur duyuyorum. Oturumumuza katılımlarıyla şereflendiren saygıdeğer hanımefendi Sayın Emine Erdoğan'a da özellikle teşekkürlerimi arz ediyorum. Sayın Emine Erdoğan hanımefendi, ülkemizde kadının ticaret ve ekonomide güçlenmesi konusunda liderlik rolü oynamakta, sürdürülebilir, çevreye duyarlı ekonomik büyüme için yapılan çalışmalara öncülük ederek yalnız bugün için değil, geleceğe yönelik bir bakış açısı da sunmaktadır. Saygıdeğer hanımefendinin küresel sıfır atık alanındaki çalışmaları da uluslararası toplumun takdirlerini toplamış, Birleşmiş Milletler tarafından zat halilerine küresel amaçlar eylem ödülü de tevdi edilmiştir. Bu nedenle saygıdeğer hanımefendiye panelimizi onurlandırdıkları için teşekkürlerimi arz ediyorum.
Kıymetli katılımcılar, girişimci kurduğu hayali inşa edebilen kişidir. Fikirleriyle hayata yön verendir. Girişimciler kadın olduğunda ise bu ruh potansiyelinin zirvesine ulaşır. Çünkü kadın girişimciler yalnızca kendileri için değil, aileleri, toplumları ve hatta tüm insanlık için hayal kuruyorlar. Hayallerinde müreffeh ve barış dolu bir geleceğe de yer veriyorlar. Onların hayal gücü, iyiliği, merhameti ve empatiyi de beraberinde getiriyor. Bugün küresel gündemde hala savaş, soykırım, iklim değişikliği, yoksulluk gibi başlıklar ilk sıradalar. Dünyanın artık gerçekten de yeni bir hikayeye ihtiyacı var. Şahsen bu hikayenin kadınların kalemiyle yazılacağı kanaatindeyim. Her gün bir kadın dünyanın bir köşesinde harika bir fikri gerçeğe dönüştürüyor. Bu fikirler tıpkı karda açan kardelenler gibi en zor şartlarda bile insanlığa umut aşılıyor. Dünya Bankası verileri kadınların iş gücüne katılımının ülkelerin milli gelirlerinde milyarlarca dolarlık artış sağladığını ortaya koyuyor. Bu nedenle kadınların ekonomiye entegrasyonu sadece sosyal bir politika değil, aynı zamanda stratejik bir kalkınma modelidir.
We recognize the vital role of public-private partnership, requiring both governments and the private sector to increase enabling environment with accessible financing, supportive regulation, and robust businesses incubators. We must also harness the power of youth and intergenerational mentorship to ensure sustainable long-term impact.
Trade flows between Turkey and Africa have grown among tenfold in 20-year time, reaching over $40 billion in 2023. This is an impressive figure. Behind these numbers, there are stories of women and men. There are stories of entrepreneurs, manufacturers, contractors, and farmers who all need efficient logistics to be successful. That is where AGL comes in. We work hand in hand with African and international businesses to streamline processes, to streamline their supply chain. Whether it is a Kenyan coffee cooperative exporting to Europe, a West African brewery importing its malt, or an international energy company deploying projects in Africa. AGL ensures that goods move reliably, efficiently, and of course are kept in our premises in safe conditions.
So, on behalf of my government, on behalf of Mauritius and on behalf of the people of Mauritius, as I mentioned, you will be welcome to come there to do equitable business, but also, as I mentioned, we look at the bigger picture. Don't look only at Mauritius, the small dot. Look at the big Africa with 1.5 billion people and with the youngest population on this planet. So I'm sure now that maybe some among you in the industry of pharmacy, you were not aware of the existence of that small country, Mauritius, but you know Mauritius, when it comes to democracy, when it comes to facilitation of doing business, when it comes to environmental protection, we are a sort of champion in Mauritius. So please do come. You will be more than welcome by our government, by the people of Mauritius, not only to do business, but with love and affection. Thank you for your attention.
Türkiye olarak geçtiğimiz çeyrek asırda sağlık sistemimizde büyük bir değişim ve dönüşüm gerçekleştirdik. Sayın Cumhurbaşkanımız Recep Tayyip Erdoğan liderliğinde koruyan, geliştiren ve üreten sağlık modeliyle sağlıklı Türkiye 100 yılı vizyonunu hayata geçirdik. Bugün modern ve kapsamlı şehir hastanelerimiz, dijital sağlık sistemimiz ve koruyucu sağlık hizmetlerini önceliklendiren bir anlayışla uluslararası düzeyde örnek gösterilen bir sağlık sistemine sahibiz. Afrika ülkeleri de dahil olmak üzere birçok ülkeye ventilatörden maskeye, PCR kitlerinden aşıya kadar geniş bir ürün yelpazesine ulaştırdık. Böylece uluslararası dayanışmanın en güzel örneklerinden birisini sergiledik. Kıtada kurduğumuz sağlık tesislerimizce yalnızca sağlık hizmeti sunmakta kalmıyor, bu merkezlerde yerel sağlık çalışanlarının bilgi ve becerileri geliştiriyoruz. Ayrıca ileri düzey ameliyatlarla hizmet kapasitesinin güçlenmesine katkı sağlıyoruz.
As we embark on this journey of collaboration and partnership, I'd like to say that Nigeria is not just a nation of rich cultural diversity and vibrant traditions. It is also a land of innovation, resilience, and untapped resources. With a youthful population and a burgeoning tech ecosystem, a wealth of natural resources, Nigeria stands at the forefront of Africa's economic transformation. Today, we delve into key sectors that are driving growth and investment in Nigeria, including agriculture, technology, energy, and infrastructure. We will hear from industry leaders and visionaries who are shaping the future of our economy and creating pathways for sustainable development. I encourage each of you to engage actively, ask questions, and explore the possibilities for collaboration. We have 3 presentations. The public sector is represented by the Nigeria Investment Promotion Commission. Private sector is represented by Voyage Oil and Gas Limited, and the bilateral business sector is represented by Nigeria-Turkey Business Council. We also have in the room today delegation, senior officials from Abia State, one of the top states and commercial hubs in the southeast of Nigeria, famed for textile, fashion, leather production, and agriculture. The Kano Chamber of Commerce, operating in the northwest region of Nigeria, is also here with a delegation. We have in the room today Ambassador Musa Abdul Kadir, Executive Secretary, National Steel Council. We have Professor Shehu Mohammed Madaki, the CEO of Copenhagen Group. We have other distinguished business leaders from diverse sectors in our delegation ready to do business with Turkey and Africa.
The Nigerian Investment Promotion Act is established by the NIPC Act, NIPC Act 1995, to encourage, promote, and coordinate investment in Nigeria. The NIPC facilitates investment business registration and offers a package of incentives to investors in Nigeria to support their operations and provide information and guidance to investors while they decide to do business in Nigeria. We provide pre- and post-investment services to investors in a streamlined and coordinated way to support their businesses in Nigeria. The inflation rate currently at September 18, 2025 is 18.02%, while this is a significant decrease from the August rate, which is 20.12%. Nigeria is the largest producing oil country in Africa, and it is the 13th globally. It has vast opportunities and abundant resources for investors to come in and invest. Nigeria has easy access to market and also within the West Africa Trade Corridor, so investors can expand their operations or sell their products within that market. The country's population is projected to reach over 400 million by the year 2050. And this will make Nigeria the third most populous country in the world. NIPC welcomes investors to do business in Nigeria as the Act protects against nationalization of the business. It provides for 100% ownership of investment in the country.
As we all know, Nigeria ranks 12th globally in crude oil production as of the most recent available data from 2023 to 2025. Its daily output averages approximately 1.5 million barrels per day, accounting for about 1.5 to 2% of the world's total crude oil production of around 81 to 90 million barrels per day.
Our exchange rate is fast improving from 2,000 naira to 1,450 to the $1. That's a huge gain. Then we also have for the past 5 months now, our inflation rate is going down. It's currently at 18.2%. What this tells you that the reforms are working. There are several African countries and several companies that are coming to the Nigerian pilgrimage to find out how we're able to turn it around. And I don't want you as Turkey companies to lose out on the newfound Nigeria. If those of you don't know Nigeria, I'm sure you heard about the 8th wonder of the world. That is the Dangote refinery. It's the only type of refinery in the entire world. It shows you our entrepreneurial spirit as Nigerians and Africa, and that we are a country who can do so much. We have very young population, very good entrepreneurs, and very serious businessmen. And the gains or the returns on investment in Nigeria far, far more than you can get anywhere in the world.
What do you think about the relationship between Africa and Turkey and the significance of this type of events to both parties?
Thank you so much. It is a pleasure for me being here, and it is an honor. This is the fourth business forum, Türkiye African Business Forum, and from what I can tell, it is a very important venue. It brings in together high level, ministerial level, whereby there is a bilateral discussion between Turkey and the different countries and group of countries as well at regional level. But it also have a very important business-to-business meeting level, which I would like to underline, because I do believe that future cooperation between Turkey and Africa should be more in line with the business development sector and with private sector development. Therefore, I believe that for those investors, Turkey investors, and for those African businessmen and businesswomen who are looking for partners, this is a place to be, actually.
Definitely, you're right about that. Now, there's been a series of panels. I believe there was 6 panels today, and there was one focused on, women development and empowerment. During that session, what really stood out for you the most?
First of all, I would like to express that I am very admirative to the work that Her Excellency Amina Erdogan is doing with regards to promoting women work crafts, handcrafts, African women handcraft, both in Turkey and in Europe, and doing many other activities to promote women in her country, in Turkey, as well as in Africa. As a matter of fact, Africa's women are facing the most important challenge, which is financing, access for financing. I think that women have shown the capacity to create a job, even if it's still in the informal level. They have shown resilience. They have been very creative in looking for solutions on daily challenges. And I do believe that we have not been paying sufficient attention to women in giving them the financial backup they really required in able to realize their activities and dreams. Women keep and they're still having a lot of potentials that we can discover if we give them the meaning therefore. In the banking level, we know that women are the best payers. When a woman take a loan, she will pay faster and better than a man. So women have shown their competencies in management of finances and their technical competencies as well. But still, we are not investing enough in them to be able to level them out of the informal sector onto a formal sector. So my work is to do a plaidoyer for financing women, and that women should be trusting in women, and they should also turn to financing women. We need more jobs for women, more banks held by women, for women, and more financial programs for women.
Merhabalar Zeliha Hanım, hoş geldiniz.
Hoş bulduk. Sizler de hoş geldiniz.
Hoş bulduk. TABEF 2025 hakkında ne düşünüyorsunuz? Yani TABEF'in Türkiye ve Afrika ilişkileri bakımından izlenimleri neler sizce?
TABEF 2016 yılında başlatılan bir çalışma aslında. Hem Ticaret Bakanlığımızın hem de DEİK iş adamlarının birlikte başlattığı Afrika ülkeleriyle yakınlaşma. Ama bu yakınlaşma güçlenerek yakınlaşma anlamına geliyor. Her iki tarafında güçlenmesi, her iki tarafında eşit mesafede durarak birbirleriyle ortaklaşa planlar ve işler yapması anlamına geliyor. O anlamda çok başarılı buluyorum.
Afrika Kültür Evi olarak sizler de burada katılımcısınız. Afrika Kültür Evi'nin burada varlığı ne anlam ifade ediyor?
Afrika Kültür Evi 2016 yılında kuruldu. Sayın Hanımefendi Emine Erdoğan tarafından bir sosyal sorumluluk projesi, aynı zamanda da kültürel diplomasiye verilen en güzel örnek olarak sunuluyor diyebilirim. Burada olmasının sebeplerinden bir tanesi Afrika'yla biz hem oradaki kadınları desteklerken buraya gelen kadın girişimciler, kadın katılımcılar da bizim varlığımızdan çok memnun oluyorlar. Hem birbirimizi tanıyoruz, hem onlarla hangi alanlarda daha iyi işler yapabileceğimizi de burada organize ediyoruz.
Son olarak izleyicilerimize vermek istediğiniz bir mesaj var mı?
Türkiye her zaman bu konuda çok hassas oldu. Birlikte güçleniyoruz mesajı bence en güzel mesajlardan bir tanesi. Biz el ele verdiğimizde bütün dünyayı güzelleştirecek kadar kocaman yüreğimizin olduğunu gösteren bir çalışma. O anlamda Afrika'nın 54 ülkesiyle de birlikte nasıl daha iyiye gideceğimizin göstergesi olacak burası. Ben teşekkür ediyorum tekrar.
Biz teşekkür ederiz.
You're welcome to the channel. You're welcome to AFROTURK TV. We'd like to know your experience so far with the TABEF event, the forum, and if you've attended any of the panels, what stood out for you?
Thank you for having me first. I'm very happy to participate in this great event, which is a kind of a collaboration between Africa and Turkey. It is based on the business, and really it was amazing. We have met today a lot of experts from different fields, show their expertise and insightful information about the sectors they are really working on. And really it was a good networking place to start anyone who has a dream and to make a business here in Turkey. There's a lot of opportunities that can be provided through these connections made in this great forum.
So you will be attending tomorrow, I believe. What else do you expect to see in the forum?
Really, what we see here is the future. Future is in the business and the economy, and a lot of transactions is happening here. So this makes those people who came here empowered to continue this kind of connections and make networking. Those a lot of business has showcased their projects that can be offered to African market, great market. Africa is a growing business hub, so a lot of Turkish business community and manufacturers are really interested and really happy to welcome those who visit today, and which is really a great experience for me as well. And I'm very happy to be among those.
You're welcome, Mr. Sinan, to AFROTURK TV. We're glad to have you here. So I'd like to know what exactly does your company do, and what relationships do you have with Africa?
So we as Metal Yapı are actively working on engineering and design of structural steel and facade, and also cladding of especially high-rise architecturally challenging buildings. And we like to actually focus our investment on the Africa region as well, because we believe that that part of the world is really like a diamond and really shining. We would like to express our intention of our engineering expertise to that region again. So right now we have actually a couple of projects ongoing in Africa, but we are there as an exporter. But on the following years, we would like to expand our relation over there, and would like to increase our capacity. So we hope that we will be reaching much better targets in the future over there.
So you mentioned that you would hope to meet better targets, and I believe that's one of the reasons why you are also here at TABEF. So in the general sense, what's the significance of TABEF to your company and to the work that you do?
TABEF is that normally we are mostly dealing with architects, so they know us, and they are the ones that are allowing us new opportunities and projects. But here with TABEF, we are able to meet directly with the end clients, with the real investors. And we see that this is an opportunity for us to maybe express ourselves better in the region, to have more contacts, to have more reliable relationships. So we believe that this will help us in the long run. So that's why actually we are here.
Definitely, Mr. Sinan, and we're glad that you are here too. And we're broadcasting to 49 African countries. We hope that they know more about Metal Yapı. Yes. And thank you very much for granting us this interview. Thank you. Thank you.
DEİK kuruluşumuzun düzenlemiş olduğu Türkiye Afrika Ekonomi İş Forumu bugün itibariyle yoğun bir katılımla başladı. Genel itibariyle insanlar burada iş kolları bağlamında birbirleriyle ilişki kurup geleceğe dönük birbirleriyle iletişime geçiyorlar. Bu çok bizim ülkemiz açısından önemli. Tabii biz de burada ASÜTE Kimya olarak buradayız. Diğer ülkelerdeki, kendi branşımızdaki insanlarla irtibata geçme fırsatı bulup düzenleyen kuruluşlara, kişilere çok teşekkür ederiz firmamız olarak ve Türkiye olarak. Türkiye açısından Afrika'nın önemi büyük. Afrika boş bir alan. Türkiye'deki bütün iş adamları Afrika'da olması gerekiyor. Hem genç bir nesil var Afrika'da. Bunların eğitilip, yönlendirilip ekonomiye ve üretime kazandırılması gerekiyor. Hem de yatırım olarak da ben Afrika'yı çok önemli buluyorum. Çünkü bakir bir bölge, her türlü yatırıma aç. Ama bu anlamda Afrika çok akıllı ilerliyor. Yani bir 5 yıla kadar, bir 10 yıla kadar Afrika'nın yatırım yapma zamanı var. Bundan sonra isteseler de bulamayabilirler. Dolayısıyla Türkiye'deki iş adamlarının elini çabuk tutarak Afrika'ya yerleşmeleri önemli diye düşünüyorum.
You're welcome, sir, to AFROTURK TV. As you do know, we broadcast to 49 African countries, and I believe that the work that you do at Ipekolo also has, ties with African countries. So I'd like you to elaborate that for us, the work that you do at Ipekolo and how, you've been able to work with Africa.
In fact, as Ipekolo, we involved in organizing exhibitions since 26 years. Initially, we started outside Turkey, in Kazakhstan, Dubai, and Moscow. But now we only have one event here, one trade show in Istanbul. Even we used to do it before, like here. Now we moved to another venue. In terms of our exhibition is about cosmetics, beauty, personal care, hair care, and home care items, which is also in Africa an important, subject. That's why we try to invite from all African countries every year visitors, buyers on one side, and also in some African countries that are manufacturing, of course in the north, like Egypt, like Algeria, like Morocco. Also in the south, in South Africa, there are some manufacturings. Even in Nigeria, Ghana, you have this shea butter, which is unique. Also in some countries there are like baobab oil, or even in Morocco they have argan oil, which is unique for this Africa. So also we have every year some manufacturing from different African countries, manufacturers exhibiting on our event. And and Turkish manufacturers also like to open to the African countries. And one chance that is compared to European countries, for African citizens, it's more easy to come to Istanbul, more easy visa, and also Turkish Airlines, as you know, fly a lot of countries, a lot of destinations. Yes.
So you've given us a broad explanation of really what you do, and I believe that's one of the reasons you are also here at TABEF, and you are also a member of DAIC. So what's the significance of this event, to the African people in general, and even to the work that you do at your company?
In fact, I've been personally, and my team, my colleagues, attending almost since, I think, the first event of TABEF. It was in 2016, almost 10 years now. And so it's and I advise everyone, even we send a circular to our cosmetic portfolio. Even I advise our friends of event organizers to attend. It's a place where you can meet almost from all Africa. Of course, the first business people, even for us, it's more important that. And also, if you are doing business with government or investment or infrastructure, you can meet with ministers, deputy ministers. That's a good chance. In fact, I've been traveling to Africa almost since 15 years. Traditionally, I was a Central Asian guide, mostly even still in DAIC. I'm the chairperson for Türkiye Turkmenistan Business Council. But we are also a member of a couple of business councils in DAIC from Africa, like we are a member of Türkiye South Africa, Türkiye Ghana, Türkiye Morocco business councils. So within the last 15 years, I had the chance to see almost to 70% more out of this, let's say 54 African countries. I had the chance to travel, to see, and also I always advise, of course there are thousands of business people here from Africa, but I always advise our Turkish business colleagues to travel to Africa, to see on the side, even, for example, I traveled to Nigeria. I saw Lagos is a different, as a business. Abuja is a different business style. So I advise our Turkish colleagues to travel to Africa, to see the countries, to see the cities, and so it's more better to finalize.
You're welcome, sir, to AFROTURK TV. So we'd just like you to introduce your company to us and the work that you do and the significance to the African continent in general.
Personally, I'm here to represent the National Steel Council, which is also an organization, a parastatal of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, that has interest in making policy and establishing steel companies. And on the other side, I also lead, if you look, there is absence of a Nigerian delegation. So we use that opportunity to lead a group called the Copenhagen. And the Copenhagen group has the approval of the federal government of Nigeria to make intervention in economics, diplomacy, and matters of logistics. And as you observed here, the theme of this conference, TABEF, is also to promote not only economics of inclusiveness, but also extensively matters of logistics and investment in mining. In that regard, just concluded in Nigeria were a series of what we call investment summits. And one of them brought in a lot of Turkish group. That was from the 29th to 30th of September. And at that occasion, some major Turkish group made commitments to logistics sectors, mining sectors, automotive sectors, as well as also human capital development, was over 10 billion US dollars. And we're here to follow up that footprint. And we are lucky to say in the different panels that we attended today, there is very strong synergy that this will be more than just a talk shop. And we want to make sure we actualize it. At the Copenhagen, which is an organization that really makes significant intervention in government policies to aid with the governance, I was witness to contacts made, and there are possibilities that agreement may be signed in a very short while. You know, it's not just MOUs. MOUs are just piece of paper. But from what I saw today, with the encouragement of Turkish authorities, there definitely will be progressive business enterprise that will come to fruition. And I'm happy Turkey as economic power is not only evolving but making significant imprints in Africa, and has made a very loud statement by this particular conference, because you have China, Africa, India, Africa. But from what you saw here, the participation and the volume of people, I think TABEF is going to establish a veritable platform that can stand anywhere. I think Turkey is speaking to the world and speaking to Africa through this event, and we appreciate it really.
You're welcome to AFROTURK TV, and as you know, we do broadcast to 49 African countries. So we'd like to know the work that you do in your clinic and how this relates to the African continent.
Yes, my name is Başak Baksu. I'm a professor of gynecology, and since I have been doing my business, and during the recent years, I became aware of health tourism being very popular in Turkey, and I realized that people who are doing this should be much more related to the health sector than the people who are doing it. So being a doctor and thinking about people who are not able to get enough care that the people living abroad want to get, or if they are not able to be treated, then I thought we could help those people by bringing them here, because we have a good technology, we have a lot of experience, and we are a little bit more qualified than most of the doctors in other countries because of many aspects. So as a physician, I want to help those people just as well as I'm helping the people here. Why Africa? Because I worked with people from Europe, for example. Then I worked with people from Pakistan. And then broadening our point of view, we thought, why not Africa? Because Turkey is now building relationships with Africa in many sectors. And I know that people from Africa are looking in a lot of issues about health. So this is where we can be much more helpful to many other people compared to the other continents. That is why we would like to meet people from Africa and try to explain why we want to work with them and how we can help them. So this is why we have attended this Congress.
Thank you so much for that. One final question. I know that you were coming as a physician and even as a professor into this event, and TABEF, as we know, is focused on the economic and the business side. So how does this, what's the significance of this to your work in the broader sense?
I mean, most of the people who are looking for health who want to solve their health issues abroad are people who either who have been treated in their country but didn't get the results, or who have lack of facilities. So mostly in cases that are applying to us for health problems are those complicated cases. So it is not only for somebody who has been diagnosed for a surgery, because then those people of course do that in their own countries. But if you are searching for a broad service, that means you have a problem that cannot be solved in your country. So most of them are complicated cases, and this is the point where we get into the problem.
Türkiye Afrika İş Forumu'nun 5. işi düzenleniyor bu yıl. Biz de ICT Investment firması olarak katılım sağlamaktayız. TABEF gerçekten Türkiye-Afrika arasındaki ekonomik, siyasi ilişkileri canlandırmak açısından çok önemli ve değerli bir fırsat. Gördüğüm kadarıyla Afrika'dan çok ciddi katılım var. 54 Afrika ülkesinden devlet, sivil toplum kuruluşları ve şirketler gelmiş. Türkiye'deki teknolojiyi, bilgi, birikim, tecrübeyi Afrika'ya aktarmak çok önemli. Biz de ICT Investment firması olarak burada bir köprü görevi görmekteyiz. Kıtada savunma sanayi, sağlık, bilişim teknolojileri alanında faaliyetler yapıyoruz. Umuyorum bu TABEF bu yatırımları artırmada önemli bir rol oynayacaktır. Şimdiden TABEF'in hayırlı olmasını diliyorum ve TABEF'e özellikle verdiği önemlerden dolayı Sayın Cumhurbaşkanımıza da teşekkür ediyorum. DİK'de emeklerinden dolayı teşekkür ediyorum.